Oh, what is the upskis, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXGamerCast. We're on episode 168 of my little gaming show where once a week I just have to talk about video games. Whether they're new video games that I'm playing today, old video games that I grew up with, it doesn't matter. Video games. And today, we are taking a special look at remakes yet again because, well, I just took down a fantastic remake in Silent Hill 2, the remake version, so I'll do a quick review of that game in a moment, but after we do that review, we're going to talk about some more remakes that I think would be worthy video games to get a remake or a remaster, whatever the hell you want to call it, doesn't really matter. Me, I'm kind of focused in more on that Final Fantasy VII remake, Resident Evil style remake of a remake. So not a remaster, not just upgraded graphics, but I want the gameplay redone, everything, but don't completely change the video game. Just give us a little bit of new stuff just to make it new enough, but familiar enough that it's not a completely different video game. I want nods to the old style of the game and all that great stuff. Easter eggs, all that stuff. But before we get into the remake talk, let us discuss what I've been up to over the last week or so. As I always encourage you, the viewer, the listener, let me know what games, movies, TV shows you've been diving into over the last week or whatever amount of time, it doesn't matter. And we're out of October now, but I'm still down to hear your most scary video game moments. I'm still down to hear your scariest movie recommendations and all that great stuff. So leave a comment on Spotify. Go over to the YouTube channel, link in the description below. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel GamerGX Videos. Drop a comment on one of the videos. I upload all these podcasts to my YouTube channel so you can listen to them there if you'd like to. Great place to drop a comment and get involved with the podcast and all that great stuff. All right, let's talk about what I've been up to. I guess I kind of have to, I know it's a gaming podcast, but I have to talk about the Toronto Blue Jays and baseball. Even though I personally am not a big baseball fan, I have joined the bandwagon of this Blue Jays run to the finals. As I'm currently recording this, I'm recording this on Friday. Game 6 is happening tonight, so by this time you are listening to this episode, the results are done. There's a World Series champion. Who is it? I don't know who it's going to be yet. I'm hoping it's the Jays. They currently hold a 3-2 lead in the series. They have 2 games to close it out in Toronto and win the series at home. That would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. I'm getting very lucky with my schedule this week. I am able to watch the final 3 games if necessary for this final. I was able to watch Wednesday and have Friday and Saturday off. So fantastic. Great scheduling for me. Very lucky, and I feel bad for anybody that doesn't get to watch these games, especially if you're from Canada. It seems like all of Canada has jumped on the bandwagon and everyone's cheering for the Jays. Thankfully so, because it's taking the stink off of the Toronto Maple Leafs, who stink right now. They suck so bad, but that's fine because the Jays rule. So hopefully they can finish it out. It's been incredibly fun watching. I've never watched this much baseball in my life, and I'm into it, man. I'm into it. Am I going to continue watching baseball after this? Probably not, but I will be more invested in the playoffs of MLB now that I have gotten a little taste of it. If the Jays are there, I'm there with them. So, you know, not a great fan, but a fan nonetheless. So let me know if you're watching any of the Blue Jays, and at this point, you know, freak out if they won and be very happy if they didn't. You know what? It's still an incredible story for an incredible team that, you know, all I remember during the offseason was everyone talking about how bad the Jays are and they're terrible and they're not going anywhere, terrible management, all this stuff. And here they are pulling a freaking money ball, and they are in the finals playing both teams are very strong. Obviously, they're in the finals, but regardless, it's a David versus Goliath type situation, and right now, David's got the edge. So I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Go Jays, and let's fucking get this done tonight, y'all. Let's get it done tonight. All right, what else have I been up to? I watched a movie. Got a good horror movie in, and that movie was Weapons. Weapons popped up on Crave, and I immediately added it to my list because it was a movie that piqued my interest. I saw the reviews were good. The concept of the movie grabbed my attention. I'm like, that sounds cool. Basically, a classroom of children just disappear one night. They're all gone. No explanation, no video, only shows these kids running off into the darkness and then nothing. So big mystery in this town, a lot of fingers getting pointed around, lots of he said, she said type shit, and damn, dude, this movie grabbed me. It has maybe one of the best endings I've seen this year. Probably, like, I love that ending. I was dying laughing. So freaking funny. But a great suspenseful movie. I love one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons is when they're going around Springfield. Like, they're telling, like, I think it's called 5 Tales from Around Springfield or something. And it's just little episodes about 4 or 5 different characters in Springfield and how all their chaotic days all evolve around each other. And that's kind of what they do with Weapons. They follow around a group of people and tell a little bit of their story during this day and how it all comes together in a epic finale. Freaking awesome movie right there. Highly recommend you check this one out. There's a little bit of there was some intense scenes, some intense gore scenes, so if you're not all the way into gore, I know my wife was a little bit uncomfortable with a couple of the scenes. I myself was a little uncomfy with some of the scenes, but overall I loved the effects, loved the performances in this movie. The story was phenomenal, and so was the ending. This is an awesome movie. 9 out of 10 for Weapons, one of my favorite movies of the year, and definitely up there for one of the best horror movies that I've seen this year. It might be the top one right now. There's still some more horror movies that I need to watch this year, but it's up there. It's absolutely up there. Let's talk some TV shows. Finished off Survivor Season 11. Another good-ass season of Survivor. Of course, they're all good. I love Survivor. And this season, I chose a female and a male that I followed to the end. And sadly, neither of them won, but they both got pretty far. So it was a fun ride for me, cheering for... I chose a dude because he had the same name as me. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go, brother. We're going to do this. And then I chose a female that I felt was going to be an underdog and could slip through and make it really far in the game. That's exactly what she did. She should have went to the finals, all things said and done. She did not, but the people that were in the finals were like, oh, I should have taken you. Oh, I should have kept you around. So I was like, fuck Lydia, god damn it. So I was cheering hard for Lydia to win, but honestly, I didn't think she stood a chance. Good strong females in that season right there. I think it came down to two females at the end. It was awesome. One thing that irked me about this season, they had a professional NFL quarterback in there, and that's just unnecessary. He lied throughout the whole show saying that he wasn't a quarterback, obviously, because they would have voted his ass out because he made a shitload. He was a professional NFL quarterback. He has tons of money, so he's just doing this for pride when, someone could really use that money. A lot of the people that were involved in this season were, a doorman and freaking a waitress and stuff like that. People that could really use that money, not an NFL quarterback. And he made it way further than he needed to make it. Like, good for you being able to pull off that lie, even though someone called him out literally like 10 minutes into the show. Like, hey, you used to play for this NFL team or you went to this college. He's like, no, I didn't. Not me. Don't know what you're talking about. And people are like, oh, okay, never mind. So that was a little bit annoying. I don't like when they bring in people that are rich, or very well off in life. Like, they bring in, like, whenever there's a lawyer, the lawyers always, downplay they're not a lawyer because lawyers make a lot of money and people don't want to have someone win that's already going to make a lot of money. I like it for the working man or woman or, just a normal blue collar person to win $1 million as it'll really change their lives. If that quarterback won, it wouldn't have done a damn thing for him other than made him less bored of his life in retirement or whatever the hell's wrong. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. I also started Twisted Metal. Finally got into Twisted Metal. I know I was waiting for Season 2 to finish off and to kind of wait and see if Season 2 was going to be better than Season 1. I heard mixed things about Season 1, not like amazing, but not bad things, just kind of like, oh yeah, it was pretty good. And I'm like, all right. Personally, didn't grow up a Twisted Metal guy. I was more of a Vigilante 8 guy, but I played Twisted Metal Black. I have so-so thoughts on that game, but I understand the concept. The concept of this show is really cool. Basically, you're in a post-apocalyptic world. Everything's gone to shit. All the major cities in America are bordered up. They got big walls around them, but there's one dude who drives around in the apocalypse doing deliveries, and that is your main character named John Doe, and he gets offered a very lucrative contract to drive across America, all the way across America, go from California to Philadelphia. I think that's where he's going, or no, Chicago, and you just got to make it through the chaos. And what I was surprised with is I've watched the first 2 episodes, and I was shocked at how fast they got to Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth was there by the end of the first episode. I was like, oh wow, okay, we're already doing Sweet Tooth. Thought that would be a season finale type thing, but boom, they go to Vegas. Who runs Vegas? Fucking Sweet Tooth. So you get Sweet Tooth, who is played by Samoa Joe, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So that was another reason why I wanted to watch it. Wanted to see what Samoa Joe's been up to while he was away from wrestling. And I thought he crushed it. Even though he doesn't have a speaking role, he is just the physical role of Sweet Tooth. I thought he did a really good job. I liked the voice acting from the Sweet Tooth guy. It was very, I'm a clown and all that shit. It was good. I liked it. Surprisingly really good. Like the action, the driving, like holy shit. If you like, I don't know, Fast and Furious, I guess. I don't know. I guess I don't really watch a lot of car movies, but man, this dude was driving through like a mall, and they were shooting each other, shooting rockets off and everything. It was epic. It was really good. Really funny as well. I was dying at this one scene. He was just trying to do a parallel park, and the fact that this guy's like an unbelievable driver and he can't parallel park was just killing me. So really funny, really enjoying it. Strong start to this show so far. I'm a little nervous that it's going to drop off because they already kind of pulled the Sweet Tooth card out really early. So it's grabbed me, but we'll see where it goes from here. 2 episodes in, so far I'm digging it. So there is that. In terms of video games, still playing through Hades 2. I am proud to announce that I finally beat the main boss upstairs. I beat him 1 time, did it in front of my wife after she scared the living shit out of me. I was fucking dialed in, y'all. I was dialed. I felt this was a magical run. You can just feel it sometimes in Hades. You're like, oh, this is it. This is the run. I'm getting all the proper perks. I'm strong. I'm not dying. I'm not getting hit a lot. So I was locked in. I had my podcast going in one ear, paying attention to the game in the other ear, and my wife snuck up behind me and fucking meowed in my ear, and it was an 11 out of 10 scare. I played it off pretty good, but I will admit that scared the ever-living shit out of me, and thank goodness I beat that boss, because if I didn't beat that boss and she scared the shit out of me, probably would have ended up blaming her for that, but oh well, it doesn't matter. Beat the boss. Hilarious scare. Scared the shit. I don't think I've been that scared in a hot minute. So congratulations to my wife for scaring the shit out of me. Congratulations to me for finally beating Typhon in Hades 2. That guy is tough. That is a hard final boss, and I'm not done with Hades 2 just yet. There's still more to go, and I'm still addicted to this game. I just want to do another run, so you can check out last week's episode where I reviewed Hades 2. Even though I didn't roll credits on the game at that point, I'd played about 40 hours of the game. Good enough for a review for me. I've done pretty much everything that the game has showed me, pretty much everything that it has to offer, even though I know there is more. There's much more to experience in this game story-wise, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm getting close. I'm getting very close to, getting this game beaten, and I do not look forward to the day when that ends, and I'm not playing Hades 2 anymore. But right now, I'm just loving Hades 2. Still playing Battlefield 6. Time is starting to come, I think, with Battlefield 6. People are just getting way too good at the game now. I don't get to play it all the time. I get to play it a couple times a week with my buddies and just casual fun. And it's starting to become less fun now. I'm getting more frustrated with the game. I am raging. I am getting angry at deaths. I'm getting angry at spawns. I'm getting angry at other players and how they're playing. So all in all, I really have to admit that I'm just not the FPS player that I used to be anymore. I'm not that good. I try to have fun. I was having fun playing with the medic role, just kind of running around, what's the Hacksaw Ridge style, just running around epically, saving people at the last second. And, if a really well-played medic can really change the the tides in a Battlefield game. Like, I've had some games where my medics were on point. They're reviving us at proper times. They're not just running out in the middle of the battlefield, getting themselves killed, and then you killed again. Like, no, they're actually doing it right, doing a really good job. So that was fun. I just got to learn to have more fun, y'all. I got to learn, this is a problem I've been having. I got to have more fun with my life, more fun with my video games, especially the competitive ones. I have tons of fun with video games. Don't get me wrong. Competitive games, I struggle. I'm competitive. I don't like losing. I really don't like losing. So I got to get used to it. Just try and have fun with the homies. That's what I'm loving the most right now. I just love gaming with the homies again. I rarely get to game with the homies like I used to. No real reason to it other than I just like single player games. There's not a lot of great co-op games for me out there right now, but we did download Borderlands 3. Sadly, it's not actually on Game Pass anymore, so we don't actually have it, so that's disappointing. But we did download Rocket League, played the shit out of Rocket League back in the day, and then just put it down, never played it, haven't played it in years, so maybe I'll play some Rocket League. But outside of that, I played and defeated the Silent Hill 2 remake. I slaughtered that game, absolutely loved it, so I'll talk about that more in detail once we get into the episode, but I'll do a quick review on Silent Hill 2, which inspired this episode to talk about remakes, because, damn, son, Silent Hill 2, that's one of the better remakes that I have ever played. One of the most worthy ones as well. Very worthy. What do I mean by that? I mean, it's not I'm looking at games like The Last of Us getting remakes, and I'm like, why? Like, yes, I understand it came out late in the PS3 era, and understandable that some PS4 people maybe didn't have the chance to play it, so put it on there, sure, that's fine, but then you remaster it again and put it on PS5, so now it's on, like, it got remade too many times, and it didn't really need it. It was a phenomenal game. It's just not one that really needed it. I look at Horizon Zero Dawn. That didn't really need the remake. You can play it on PS4. Didn't have to. You can play the original on PS5. We didn't need the remaster and all that shit. So that's what I mean by games. I want games that are on PS1, that has never had a remake. It's not available anywhere else. You can only play it on this hardware. Those are the type of games that I want remade. Now, that's not what my whole list is dedicated to. There's some games that are like that, some games that aren't, some very personal list. It's not, there might be some games that you like here, but these are games that I grew up with and would love to play them again in a new fashion. So that is what we're going to be doing right now. Let's get into it. We'll do a Silent Hill 2 review, and then we'll talk about some remakes that I want. Alright, let us kick it off with the Silent Hill 2 remake. Let's do a review for this really quickly here. So, obviously, it goes without saying. So, I played the original a week before that I played this remake, and oh my goodness, night and day difference. What a step up. And that is no shade at all to the game that came out in 2001. When Silent Hill 2, the original, came out, that game was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Looked amazing. Maybe didn't play the most amazing, but again, that was the type. That's how horror games were kind of made back then. They kind of limit your controls and limit your abilities to make the game scarier. And now we have much better technology where they can just make things look more horrifying. And yeah, they don't have to justify bad controls or tanky controls, we'll call them, to make the game scarier anymore. So this is a fully, Resident Evil 2 remake style of a remake. They enhance the controls, they change the gameplay to make it play more like a modern Resident Evil game, which is awesome. So freaking awesome. That's one of my favorite styles of game to play, that third person over the shoulder. And that's what they did with Silent Hill. They got rid of the tank controls, which is, they changed the shooting, love it. And dodging's better, combat's a lot better, the game looks a lot better. Now, that's obvious. It's a 20 years difference, 25-year difference in between games. So yeah, obviously it better look a lot better, and it does. Character models look great. The town of Silent Hill looks awesome, man. The fog isn't just a limiter anymore because it doesn't have the range to see. Now you can see through the fog. It's just, the atmosphere is phenomenal. And let me tell you about the sound design. Holy shit. So the voice acting's fine. It's good. I thought the original was fine. It's really good for the time. No problems with the voice acting now. It's the sound design that got a huge jump. Everything sounds amazing. Like, whacking enemies with the freaking board and the steel pipe sound awesome. Everything sounds so gooey, like you hit it and you just hear blood flying everywhere. Everything just sounds and feels disgusting. It's so freaking good. Brings out the terrifying atmosphere of Silent Hill and all the horrifying places you're visiting, the hospital, the basements of places, the fucking other places, mostly the hospital and the hotel. Those are terrifying places. Gameplay-wise, like I said, everything feels a lot better. Gunplay, combat. The puzzles, I will still say, they're definitely not as tedious or like hard to figure out. They're a little bit tricky. Again, I had to look up some of the solutions because I'm like, I have no idea what the hell you want me to do right now in terms of solving this puzzle. So that is still, I'm not really going to call it an issue. It's just I'm dumb and I couldn't figure it out. Some of them were pretty weird though. Like one, you had to count the amount of people in a picture. You're like, all right, there's 8 nurses in this picture. There's 2 doctors in this picture and like 3 patients in this picture. That's the lock combination. So like that kind of really cool. Like I was like, oh, okay, that's a cool puzzle. Way better puzzles in Silent Hill than Resident Evil. I will give them that. You really got to think about some of these puzzles, and they feel rather rewarding. It's not just, oh, go find this jewel and insert it into this jewel-shaped hole. You know, it's not necessarily like that. But what I will give it props for is its pacing is much better. I had way less problems figuring out where to go next or what I'm supposed to be doing. The game does not that it's holding your hand like a little baby or anything, but it definitely guides you much better as to where you're supposed to be going next and what you're supposed to do. When you find things, you're like, okay, I gotta take this key, I gotta go down to that door, or I gotta go, okay, now this is open. There was like 1 or 2 times where a door opened and from a previous floor that I was on, and I had like no idea other than the guide saying, okay, this door is open now on the first floor, so you can go check it. That's like, I didn't get a key. I just went up here and all of a sudden this door's open. So there is still some confusion. I still would recommend using a guide for this game. Not for the whole thing, but when you get stuck, don't be afraid to use a guide because it's kind of challenging. There are some challenges to this game. You're like, what the fuck? What do I do? Like, oh, wow, I would not have figured that one out, especially with some of the puzzles. But the pacing of the game is fantastic. It's also much longer. It took me about 15, 16 hours to get through this game, where the original took me about 8 hours. So I'm less inclined to go through the game multiple times, though you can beat it faster. There's even a trophy for beating the game in under 10 hours. So obviously it can be done a lot faster than how I did it, but yes, I am feeling a little less encouraged to go ahead and go through multiple playthroughs to check out the multiple endings that are in this game. I think there's 8 endings or something like that. Absolutely insane. Also got to shout out the boss fights. They're much better. So much better. And again, not throwing shade at the original Silent Hill, but this is why it's such a good remake, because the game needed it. Like, I played the original and I'm like, damn, all right, this is borderline getting close to being unplayable. Like, some people wouldn't even play that game anymore because the controls are just so old. But I grew up on PS2 and stuff, so it didn't bother me that bad. I got used to it and graphically got used to it. It was very blurry, but your eyes adjust to it after a little while. So not a big deal, but I have to shout out, I was very excited about Pyramid Head and what they were going to do with Pyramid Head in the remake. Mostly kept him untouched. Like, he still looks the same. Very intimidating, very badass looking. Definitely not the lumbering, like, brainless enemy that he was in the first Silent Hill. Pretty close, but I would say more intimidating in this one. The first fight with it was way better. The room was bigger, and he was just more intimidating. He was, like, chasing me down, swinging his big blade. Didn't seem so mindless and, like, just, what the hell are we doing here? So, way better on that, and the other boss fights just took it up another, like, 3 notches. Like, instead of me just being stuck in this one room, this one boss we're breaking through walls and shit. Like, that was another thing with the graphics. The destructibility is way better, man. Like, walls are crumbling, enemies are blasting through walls, and just like shit is getting destroyed. Way awesome. Freaking awesome. So very excellent job, I would say, with this remake. One other thing I have to talk about the mannequins. Those things fucking suck. Oh my goodness. I was warned about these mannequins coming into this game, but man, they are sneaky little bastards. They scared me on multiple times. Multiple times they scared the shit out of me. Is this game scary? Yeah, I would say it's pretty damn scary. Was it the scariest game that I ever played? No. Mostly because I just played the original and I kind of knew when some things were going to happen and what to look out for. But those mannequins are so much more... They're just so much more in this over the original. The original, they're pretty uneventful. You know, they're just a pair of mannequin legs. They'll kick you. They'll come after you. These ones will bait and switch you. They will show, like, you'll see them in a hallway. They'll run off. And then they'll go find a dark corner to go hide in, wait for you to come around the corner. They'll jump out at you and, like, scare the shit out of you. So, freaking well done. Enemy design right there with the mannequins. They were very scary. I dreaded dealing with them, and yes. Also, another thing that was majorly improved, back to the combat again, is bullets and guns feel actually powerful. They did not feel so in the original game. Like, I can smack a nurse with a board and kill her in like 5 shots, where it would take me like 15 bullets to put a nurse down. I'm like, why the hell am I even using my bullets then? If my board, a wooden board is stronger than a gun, a shotgun, a rifle. So I don't know. Had a blast though with this game. Could not put it down. I beat it in like 4 days. Just crushed this game. So much fun. Now that it plays like a Resident Evil remake game, I think it's a must play for horror fans. This is an awesome freaking video game. I'm going to hit it with an 8.5 out of 10. I think it's definitely awesome, especially if you have a PlayStation right now with the PS Plus subscription. It's there for you. You can download it. Highly recommended. 8.5 out of 10. And yeah, the only thing that was a little disappointing is that it's longer, but it didn't feel longer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just so fun, so much more fun to get through than the original. And I enjoyed the original. I liked it. I gave it a 7 out of 10 on a modern scale, like reviewing it as I just played it today. I still think it's a good game. But the remake is just so much better. If you have the time, I would recommend playing the original, see where it started, and then play the remake and see where it went. Because that is like the best way to experience what I just experienced. Like, amazing to see where video games have come over 20 years. It's pretty amazing, especially horror games. I think horror games have taken such advantage of the graphics increase that we've gotten this generation. Shit looks amazing in Silent Hill Remake. So definitely check it out. If you're a horror fan, play the original if you can. If you have access to it, like, absolutely, it's still worth a play. And they threw in a lot of, Easter eggs from the original. They have like these little things, you'll come up to them and they'll like really zoom in on it and you're like, oh, that's from the original game. They may have taken it out, but it's still there. You know what I'm saying? Like, the one thing that got me a lot was there was this really strange puzzle you had to do in the original where you had to like melt a wax candle to a horseshoe to make a door handle. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? And I found the candle and horseshoe. They actually had it there. And I was like, oh snap, that's just a nod right there to the original game. So this was done with love and appreciation for the original. Very well done remake. So definitely check it out if you have the time. All right. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this episode. We're talking remakes, so let's get into some... I think I have 10 remakes here that I want to get remade. I did an episode on this before, so if you want to try and track down that episode, be my guest. It was a very good one with... I think I did like 13 or 14 on that one, but this time we'll do a little less because I did a review. So let's start at the bottom in a game that I know is never going to get remade, but maybe they'll put a version of it inside of the game one day, and that game is NHL Hits. NHL Hits, I love that game. NHL Hits, I think specifically 2002, 2003, I think is the one that I had. It had Scott Gomez on the cover. No, not Scott Gomez. Scott Stevens. My apologies. Not Scott Gomez. Scott Stevens, because that guy could hit. He literally killed a man on the ice with one of his hits once. It's the thing. Look it up. Paul Correa. Off the floor, on the board. Paul Correa, baby. Anyway, love this game because it's arcadey. And NHL games in recent memory have definitely gone away from that arcadey nature. They're going for a much realistic feel, which sucks. I don't want that in my video game. I prefer an arcadey style. Like, it's good that they have the simulation style. Why not have both? Like, why can't I have an NHL Hits arcade mode in my NHL games? Like, give me a 3-on-3. Let me hit the fuck out of people, because the hitting in the NHL games have been terrible for years. Terrible. I hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it. It's so unsatisfying. It barely works. It's just trash. Especially in the recent game, trash. I absolutely hate it. You can barely hit anybody. Most of the time you just collide with each other and nothing happens. You're like, what was the point of that? It's so hard to even set up a fucking hit. And then when you feel like you lined it up perfectly, you're like, nah, that was nothing. Or it's just a fart, like just a wet fart of a hit. Doesn't even look devastating. It looked like it fucking hurt me more than it hurt them. So hitting in modern NHL games is garbage, and I want it to be awesome again, like it was in NHL Hits, where you smash a dude and he goes flying across the ice, or he goes flying through the glass. You smash him through the glass. I don't care if it doesn't happen in real life anymore all that often. Put it in the fucking video game. Make the video game fun. Make it as fun as possible. And what makes the game fun? Let me smash a bitch as hard as I can after the whistle. Like, they took that away in the NHL games. You can't do anything after the whistle anymore. You used to be able to just smash teams. Like, I remember you had enough time. I had so much time, like, especially if you hit someone really hard. Now the team's chasing you. Now you have more time to fuck around. And I used to create these guys, they're 6'8", 280 pounds, and there's trucking people. And I'm just trucking their whole team. There's guys laying on the ice all over the place. So freaking satisfying. So good. And just brought more fun to the game. Like, it's a 3-on-3. I used to play as this, like, monsters team where I had a shark. I had a cow. An alien was in net. Like, freaking awesome, man. Just fun. When you score a hat trick, you fucking smash your sticks together and lightning hits them and your stick is on fire, and the commentator's like, he's on fire, and like, literally, you're on fire because you're playing so good. Like, how fun is that? I would love to see NHL Hits come back, whether it's a game mode that they add in the modern NHL games, which is really the only way I can see that happening. There's no way they're just going to release a second NHL game, call it NHL Hits, and have it be like a 3. I just don't think that would hold as a game on its own anymore. It used to be fine back in PS2 when games were fun and they put in a bunch of shit for free and didn't ask you to pay another $60 for DLC and extra content and seasonal passes and whatever the fuck, and HUT and all this shit that's ruined the NHL games. So yeah, it's a pipe dream for sure. It's something I don't think, but at minimum, can you at least make the hitting good in the NHL games again? Because my goodness, is it ever pathetic nowadays. All right, let's move on to the next game. The next game is an all-time classic. I feel like some people would not want this remade, but I do, and that's Final Fantasy VI. Final Fantasy VI, I think I want it. I don't want a 2D HD remake. I want it to be full Final Fantasy VII, ground up. Rebuild this game, and let's get 3D models in here. Let's bring Locke, fucking Kefka. Let's bring all these crazy son of a bitches to life. Let's give them life. Let's give them voice acting. Let's give them big epic cutscenes. Let's see Kefka poison a whole entire town, and let's see that play out in an epic cutscene, Final Fantasy style, and give me gameplay like the recent Final Fantasy 16 action-based, make it rated M. Bro, printing billions of dollars, let me tell ya. Just go for it. Just go for it. I want it so bad. Yes, I think a 2D HD remaster would be phenomenal for this game as well. But I think people would be like, yo, you missed the boat. You went for the easy route right there. You went for it's a slam dunk. I'm not going to deny that. Making a 2D HD remake of Final Fantasy VI, that's also like $1 billion idea. But let's do this right. Let's make it dark. Let's make that game dark. As dark as it is. It's arguably one of the darkest stories in Final Fantasy. It's fucked up. And I want Kefka to be put on a pedestal like Sephiroth is. Whoa, I did a list thing right. Sephiroth. I don't know. Seth. His name's Seth now. All right, well, anyway, I want Kefka to get put on that pedestal. If they give him a modern game and we get to see what this psychopath does and how, because it just doesn't, you don't quite get there. I played Final Fantasy VI like last year or 2 years ago, and you know, I know there's the Kefka lovers out there, but he just didn't come off as maniacal as Sephiroth did, and even in the PS1 version. The remake, holy crap. But seriously, I think Final Fantasy VI, give it a Final Fantasy 16 style remake, and it would be fucking phenomenal, bro. I think it would be so much fun. I would love it. The story would work so good. Give it the rated M, and just fucking watch the money come in. You're welcome. Up next, we got a PS2 classic, a game I did not finish because I rage quit on it, and that game is Metal Gear Solid 2. So I guess I'll tell the rage quit story because I teased it. So this is when my PS2 was acting up. It wasn't reading discs anymore. All I had to do was pop off the top and give it a little clean. Everything would have been fine. Instead, I proceeded to freak out. I thought it was the game. A brand new game that I just bought. And I was like, it's impossible. I just bought this game. Bought it in a HD collection, or not an HD. I bought a Metal Gear Solid collection, which was 1, 2, and 3. Put in a brand new Metal Gear Solid 2, and it wasn't reading it, so I fucking folded that disc. I crushed it in my hands. Just gave it a good bend. Now it's got this warp in it, and yeah, obviously the game wouldn't play no more. And I fixed my PS2, and everything was fine. I had to buy another copy of Metal Gear Solid, but I never finished it. But I really liked it. I tried to go back and play it, but this was well after I played Metal Gear Solid 4 a bunch of times, and I was like, yo, the controls in the older Metal Gear Solid games is just ass. It's really hard to play those games because the big thing for me is in the older ones, you can only crawl or you can run, like walk and run. In the more modern ones, you have like a crouch that you can move pretty quickly with and still be undetectable or harder to detect. So it just increases the speed of the game. I find the old games can get very tedious, especially when you get caught by somebody. Then you have the 99-second counter. You got to wait for that to count down. Then it goes down to caution, and then you're good, and you got to sit there and just wait forever. And that just doesn't fly in modern society, right? No one likes to sit around waiting for 3 or 4 minutes only to get caught with like 5 seconds left, and you got to start the counter all over again. Get rid of that, add in modern controls, and better yet, make it like Metal Gear Solid 5. Make it open world. I don't know if that's technically going to be possible with Metal Gear Solid 2, because it kind of takes place in one location. It doesn't really spread across, but I imagine they can make it work. They can add in a section, they can make the boat bigger or something like that, or more explorable. I think it would work out really well, and also give them a chance to redeem Raiden, because Raiden, in my books, one of the most badasses in all of video games. The dude is a cyborg ninja. He can slice freaking 100-foot tall robots in half with his feet. Like, he's amazing. He is so cool. And sadly, that coolness didn't start until Metal Gear Solid 4, where he actually became a badass, and then solidified his badassery with Metal Gear Solid Revengeance, where they created his own word to make his own game, which was freaking awesome. Very hard. Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance. But Raiden is a little bitch in Metal Gear Solid 2. He is such a little baby. He's a whiny little bitch, and yeah, they can change that, or they can play into it, make him a little bitch, but also make him more of a badass than he was in Metal Gear Solid 2. Like, by the end, you're like, all right, this guy's like kind of cool. It's just people back then couldn't get over the betrayal that was, they teased Snake to be the playable guy in that game, and then they took that away from you 1 hour in. You're not playing as Snake anymore. You're playing as Raiden, and people were pissed. Rightfully so. I don't like to get swerved like that either, especially when you buy a brand new video game expecting this and you're getting that. Like, oh, hell nah. Especially when that guy was such a bitch. But I think Metal Gear Solid 2, now that they did Metal Gear Solid 3, that was a big success. I think it goes without saying, you can do Metal Gear Solid 2. People are going to love it. I don't know if that's the next one they're going to do. They could very well go to Metal Gear Solid 1. They could follow the storyline, which would be 3, 1, 2, 4, 5. I don't remember where 5 fits into the story anymore. My apologies. I think that actually might be the next one, honestly. But they're not going to remake Metal Gear Solid 5. That game's damn near perfect already. It's so fucking good. They could fix the story, but that would take Kojima, and Kojima I don't think is ever going to come back to where was it? It doesn't matter. Kojima and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So anyway, Metal Gear Solid 2, that is definitely one I want remade, and I feel very confident that we will get that one because of the success of Metal Gear Solid 3, and I want to play that game really, 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 really badly, but I'm going to wait for a sale. I'm going to wait. It's going to be cheap in no time, so I'm not worried about that. Let's go to the next game. I just have to pull up my list. Here we go. Up next is another game from the PS2, and that is Jak 2. Not Jak 1, but Jak 2 specifically. There's a reason for this, because Jak 1, I still think is a very fucking good video game today. If you play that game today, you're gonna have a good time. It's almost like a modern platforming game. It's kind of open world. It's very freeing. There's no load times pretty much. It's still incredibly fun. The platforming is tight. The characters are good. The gameplay is fucking really good. It's still a really good game. Jak 2, on the other hand, they changed the formula for that game quite a lot. They turned it into kind of a GTA clone, open world with vehicles, and there's cops running around, they're chasing you. It's a more adult game. I don't know if the original Jak was rated E or T. I know for a fact Jak 2 was rated T because I had to have my grandparent present when I got it, or whatever the fuck. Doesn't matter. But I think if you modernize the controls and the open worldness of Jak 2, I think it could actually make a very good video game. Make it like a open world platformer with third person shooting elements. I think it could be really good. It might be biting off more than it can chew, because that is 3 pretty prominent game styles. Third person shooter, action platformer, and open world game. Can that be pulled off? I mean, if Naughty Dog is looking for something to do, and I know they're very busy with Intergalactic, I think that's the game they're working on, and probably working on Last of Us 3, and among other things, who knows what they're working on, but I think they could really do something really cool with Jak 2, which would lead into Jak 3. Jak 3 I'm not very familiar with. I had it as a kid, but I couldn't get through like the first 2 hours of that game. It was too hard. Couldn't figure it out. Just couldn't figure it out. One day I'll try and get back to it, but couldn't. Couldn't beat Jak 2 either. Arguably one of the harder, under the radar, hard as fuck video games on PS2. That game kicked my ass as a kid. I used to get stuck all the time on that game, would be stuck for weeks, get past something, run into something else that's really hard. But I think it would make a really good remake. Like, you can just make it so much bigger. It's a pretty tame open world. Like, there's not really a lot of like extra stuff to do. They can add in more fun things for Jak to do, more races, more different style of races. I don't know. There's definitely more that can be added to Jak 2 with that formula, if they want to go with that formula. Personally, I wish they would just have stuck with the formula from Jak 1, where it's an open world action platformer with just bright, colorful graphics and fun, colorful characters and all that, funny story, funniness, and just wackiness. But I see where they were going with it. They went a little in the lane of Ratchet and Clank, and then definitely went into the lane of Grand Theft Auto a little bit. I think they can definitely improve on that, especially with how many modern open world games we have nowadays. I think Jak 2 would be really cool. All right, let's move on with the list, and we're going to an all-time N64 classic. You might already know it, but it's The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Now, I know there's been some talk around this game already getting a remake and shit like that, but it hasn't happened yet, so I want it. I still really want it. How do I want it? Well, I think I'm going to want it the Breath of the Wild style, except with dungeons and temples and stuff like that. That was like kind of the one thing that people were complaining about, the old school Zelda fans, like, where's my temples? Where's my temples at, bro? I need to get my temple on. And like, okay, well, now we have these shrines instead, but if you want that, let's remake Ocarina of Time, make it more of that, like, it's kind of an open world, but obviously you could do so much more with it from N64 to current times. Imagine an Ocarina of Time world, but on Switch 2, and you can just fill it with way more stuff. Way more enemies, side stuff to do, lots of great stuff. And they can, like, there's already a lot of side stuff, weird side stuff you can do in Ocarina of Time, like the masks and all that weird shit. They can just expand all that stuff and add in so many more things, more races. I don't know why I always go to races, but that's just like such an awesome thing to throw into an open world game. Like, oh, we could do some fucking horse racing or something, or some arrow shooting, all that's already in the game and stuff, but obviously you could just make it so much more better, make the world bigger and more lively, and just bring back all those classic tunes and remaster them for modern ears and just make us get addicted to that soundtrack all over again, give it its praise. It's one of the best soundtracks of all time. Definitely one of the most addicting soundtracks. Like, the Lost Woods, forget about it, bro. The Sun Song, come on, get away from me. Song of Storms, fuck me on Sunday. That's a catchy tune. So many catchy tunes. Then you're going to remaster all the boss fights and just bring back that classic dungeon style of Legend of Zelda. I think it would be fantastic to see the Gorons and everybody in full HD. Is it 4K on Switch 2 yet? Whatever, doesn't matter. I think it would be gorgeous. I think it'd be so much fun. I know that they did the 3D on 3DS, but not everybody got a 3DS. I bought a 3DS so I could play Legend of Zelda 3D, and it was amazing. So fucking good. And that's just a taste of what they can do. That was just a graphical rehaul. Like, they can do so much more with a ground up, or break it down build it from the ground up, is what I'm trying to say. Even though it doesn't really need it, I still think Ocarina of Time plays great. It's a phenomenal game. The Z targeting works on N64. It just does. Things work on the N64 for that game. It's just, I want it more. I want it again. I want a reason to play it again, and just give me another reason to play it. So remake it, and that would be awesome. All right, let's go to the next game. Next game is the one that I thought was going to get announced, but did not, and that is Fallout 3. Oh, so sad. The Fallout day just passed long ago, and we didn't get a Fallout remake announcement, so I think it's coming. I think it's inevitable that it's going to happen because of the success of the Fallout TV show and the success of Oblivion Remastered. Now, if they could go back in time, when they were probably making that decision what game to remake for Bethesda, they're like, oh, should we do Oblivion, or should we do Fallout 3, or should we do Fallout New Vegas? Which one do you think, if hindsight was 2020, they would have picked Fallout 3, or possibly even New Vegas would fit better, because, well, I don't really want to spoil the show, but anyway, I think both 3 and Vegas would have worked out brilliantly. I feel like Vegas has a bigger following, a more hardcore following now, because when it came out, it wasn't like glowing reviews like it was for Fallout 3. Like, Fallout 3 was universally praised. Everybody loved Fallout 3. But then Vegas came out and everyone's like, it's just more Fallout 3. It didn't really change much. It's a little emptier, but people love the decision making in that game. They love the factions that they can choose between, like the Roman side and the fucking other side, I forget, but man, either one of those games would be there. 2 of my favorite games of all time. I played them multiple times. Has been a little while since I played them because, Fallout 4 exists, but and there's other games that have satiated my appetite, like The Outer Worlds and The Outer Worlds 2, and hopefully one day The Outer Worlds 3. I'm not going to talk about Starfield because that didn't really do a lot for me. It made me want more Fallout because Starfield just was not it. Regardless, hopefully Starfield was for some people. I want Fallout 3. Fallout 3 would be the one I want personally. I'm more familiar with that game. And all it really needs, it really needs a graphical uphaul. It doesn't really need, definitely tighten up the shooting, because the shooting in Fallout 3 sucks, but because you got to use the VAT system. If you're not, I remember my wife told me she played Fallout New Vegas and she hated it because she said the shooting was terrible. I'm like, yeah, the shooting is terrible because you have to use the VAT system. She's like, the VAT system? What the hell is that? I'm like, that's why you didn't enjoy the game, because yeah, the shooting is pretty tanky. It's not very good, not very satisfying. Very inaccurate, and so on and so forth. That's why the VAT system was so... I love the VAT system. It's so amazing. If you don't know what it is, basically you can just target an enemy, pick a body part on them, you can shoot their arm, you can shoot their hand, shoot the weapon out of their hand, blow their fucking head off, blow their leg off. You choose. They can even go into more detail with that. Shoot their kneecap, shoot their elbow, shoot their fucking ear, shoot their mouth so they can't chirp you anymore. I don't know. There's so much more they can do with that in terms of detail. But really want it to look good. Because even when Fallout 3 came out, wasn't a very good looking game. Kind of ugly, muddy, gray, green kind of tinge to it. So it would be nice to add in a little bit of life. I know it's a apocalypse and it's not supposed to look bright and colorful and stuff like that, but you can make it pop a little bit better than that. It's never been a great looking game. Doesn't matter to me. I think you can leave all the quests alone. You can add in some more for sure, absolutely, more weapons and so on and so forth, but I love the quests in Fallout 3. They're so memorable. There's so many of them. Add in, just bring the Deathclaw up to speed, make that thing look even more terrifying than it already is, and just, fuck yeah, that would be an amazing one right there. So Fallout 3 for sure is on my list. Up next, we have a PS2 classic. Admittedly, a game I've never played, and that is the only one on this list that I have. Actually, no, there's another one. But I try to keep it to games that I played, but this one, I still want to play the original. That game is Dark Cloud. Dark Cloud just sounds like such a me game. It's a dungeon crawler with a town builder. Like, oh my god, like I'm going into dungeons, finding pieces of a town. Like, I haven't looked too far into it because I'm like, I'm sold. I don't need to look into it anymore. I'm sold. But modernize it, make it a modern roguelite with city building aspects. Like, oh my god, like I would fucking cream my pants right now. There's a game out there that recently came out on Game Pass called Ball Pit, or Ball X Pit or something like that. That's a roguelike with town building elements, and I want to play that game too because it sounds like such a me game. But Dark Cloud is just like a little bit more AAA style. It's 3D, it's bigger, it's not an indie game. So you give that to somebody to remake, oh my god. Update the graphics, obviously, make it 4K, beautiful. We're going through these crazy dungeons, we're building this huge town, and I can like run certain shops. That would be so much fun, man. Oh my god. It sounds like Moonlighter. If anyone played Moonlighter was an amazing game. Super underrated gem of a video game where you are, by day, you're running a shop. At night, you go into dungeons, collecting gems and stuff to sell in your shop. You're setting prices. You're doing all that. I think that would be so fun. But in Dark Cloud, you could build houses and like find townspeople in there, find useful townspeople. Okay, I found a blacksmith. Boom! Put them in the blacksmith place, and fucking, you gotta pay rent now, bitch. So they're paying me. I'm getting stuff. It's awesome. Give me some of that Fallout 2 or Fable 2 action where you're like renting out houses and stuff. Oh, jeez, just print money. I will give you money for that game. Absolutely. So that is one I have had on my list that I've wanted to play. Actually, there's two other games that I have never played before that I want remade. And the next one is also from the PS2 early days, and that is Eco. Eco, I've never played it, but just looking at gameplay, it looks like an old-ass PS2 game where, like, all right, the controls are a little weird, camera's a little fucked up, could use a graphical update, I know they have an HD version, but I want it the same thing that they did with Shadow of the Colossus. Now, I'm not as familiar with Eco. All I know is that you're dragging this girl around and trying to get out of this castle. That's all I really know about the game, but obviously you can tighten up that gameplay, tighten up the graphics, and just give us a modern version of Eco that we can play for an affordable price. I think this is one that they don't have to sell at full price. You can do it at $40, $50, something like that. And you can even, if you want to charge full, you can package it with the remake of Shadow of the Colossus. That would go over really well. Do a dual pack. They've already done Shadow of the Colossus. I loved it. I played that remake. It was amazing. But it was pretty much a copy and paste remake. There's really not a lot to be done with Shadow of the Colossus. It's an amazing video game. Just tighten up the controls and make it look pretty. That's really all they had to do with it, and it was still a phenomenal game. I think the same of Eco could be done, so why not do that with Eco? I think that would be sweet, and that would give me a real reason to play it. I have it. It's here. I can play it, but if they did it in a more recent style, I'd be much more appealed to play it. I'm also scared of The Last Guardian because I know it didn't review very well. Kind of a disappointment of a game, but I would go into it with a very open-minded look. I wouldn't go into it expecting a Shadow of the Colossus type experience. So one day I'll get to The Last Guardian, but not today. All right, let's go to the next game. The next game is... oh god, this is a big one for me. Legend of Dragoon. Is it Legend of the Dragoon or Legend of Dragoon? I should just go check my shelf and I can see it from here, but I can't quite read it. Anyway, doesn't matter. Legend of Dragoon, still stuck on PS1. The only modern way you can play it is play the PS1 version on your PS5, which I plan on doing someday. It's a big RPG, and that's going to take some time. So maybe in November, I don't know. Don't know what I'm doing myself. I'm still playing Hades 2. That's all I want to play in Battlefield. So there's that. Anyway, Legend of Dragoon, obviously, also would like to do this in a Final Fantasy VII Remake style. Bring all these people to 3D life. They're already kind of there, but man, the FMVs cutscenes on the PS1, bring that to a modern setting on the PS5. Oh my god, those cutscenes are so badass with the dragons and everything, man. Oh my god. And I will admit, Legend of the Dragoon, the FMV cutscenes are gorgeous, but the rest of the game ain't that nice looking. It's very blurry. The character models are kind of laughably not good looking. There's no voice acting, so you can add in voice acting. And also, if you want to, make it rated M. I don't think that's a bad thing anymore to make these fantasy RPGs rated M. It may not fit the style of Legend of Dragoon. It's been a very long time since I played that game. But what I love about Legend of Dragoon was the combat system. Now, what would I want to do with the combat system? I'm not 100% sure if I want it to be fully action like it was in Final Fantasy 16, or I think I would prefer it more of a Final Fantasy 7 style where it's like hybrid action turn-based, like you're moving actively, but it's also turn-based at the same time. It's kind of hard to explain it, but that's how it is. I think that's how I would prefer it, and I still want the button pressing from Legend of Dragoon. That was my favorite part. I know people don't love it, but I did. Whenever you do an attack, you can make a bigger combo attack happen if you press the buttons at the right time and time it properly. It takes a little bit, but once you get it, it is one of the most satisfying, fun as fuck things to do in an old school turn-based RPG ever. Bring that mechanic into a faster pace gameplay style. I think it would just go over fantastically. I think it'd be so much fun. And bring Dart and Levitz and all the homies, make the Dragoon transformations epic, and just, oh man, I think this game would just be amazing on a modern console. I think it'd be absolutely sensational. There's been zero talks of Legend of Dragoon. There are no sequels, no remakes, nothing. This game is dead. So I think it is beyond worthy of a remaster, remake, whatever the fuck. And please do it someday. Somebody, anybody, please. Please give me this. All right, Legend of Dragoon, I want it so bad. Up next, we got Resident Evil 1. Because I think Code Veronica, it seems like Code Veronica is up next. So I would have put Code Veronica unless I might have done that in the... Nope, okay. Well, we're going to stick with Resident Evil 1 because I still think it deserves a remake. Even though it's been remade, I know, and it's an amazing remake. Still holds today. Absolutely. The GameCube remake, which they have put out on PS4, PS5, you can play that remake anywhere in HD. It's still so good. Such a good game. I gave it an 8 out of 10 last year. That's still a great game. Unreal. I was blown away at how good it still was. I'm like, I can't believe this. But I also still want it to be in that Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4 remake version. Give me the third person over the back. Let me control the camera. No more static cameras, and let's do this shit. Throw me in that mansion. Throw the dogs at me, the hunter, the licka, give me all that shit, give me the tyrant, and let's fucking do this thing, man. I was always confused as to why they skipped the original Resident Evil. I know it's been remade, and it's been re-released a million times, but I still think it's deserving of it. It's still an amazing video game that I would love to experience in a modern style of Resident Evil. I think it would be amazing. And also just include that version of the game in that package. Just give us Resident Evil HD. Put that in there so people can appreciate it, see how far the game has come and how much better it can be, but still be good in the old style. So that's what I personally want. That's what I want real bad. I want every Resident Evil remade, so every time I do one of these lists, there's going to be a Resident Evil on there. The last one had Resident Evil 5, which I guess is not next. Sounds like they're doing Code Veronica, which is great. I have never played it, and I would love a remake of it. That would be great. Sounds good to me. All right, let's finish off this list, and the final game is Silent Hill 3, because they already announced they're doing Silent Hill 1, so why not go to 3? It's sequel. I know it goes Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3, but 1 and 3 are connected, and I don't know if 2 and 4 are connected. Not really sure what 4's story is. Don't really know anything about it other than it's called The Room, I believe. But regardless, Silent Hill 3, don't know a fucking thing about it, but I'm so sold on Silent Hill 2. It was so fucking good. I loved every second of it. I want 3. I want 1. I want 4. I want 5. Fuck it. Give me 5. Remake the bad ones if you want to. That's fine with me. You can make them good. Because from what I remember, those games were just, not very good looking. Controls were ass, and probably the story was ass. Those are all things you can fix with a remaster, so do it. Do it. Absolutely do it. Give me all the Silent Hill remasters, and I'll be a happy, happy boy. But to go through this list again, we'll go through them all, and I'll give you a percentile rating on how confident I am that these remakes will happen. NHL hits. We're going 15%. 15% on that actually happening and being a game mode thrown into a modern NHL. I'm not very optimistic about that one. A Final Fantasy VI remaster in the style of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm going 50-50 on that one, y'all. 50-50, that can go either way. I feel like it's more prone to being a 2D HD remaster, which would be disappointing. I understand it's a lot of work to do a Final Fantasy style remaster. That would be insane, but I'm telling you, it would be amazing. Metal Gear Solid 2, I think, is like 99% we're going to get that one for sure. Ocarina of Time, I'll probably go with 35% on that one. Not feeling very optimistic, just because there is the 3DS version of it, so I don't know if they're like really high on doing that one, and it doesn't really necessarily need it, but I want it. Fallout 3, we're going 99% on that one. I think that's inevitable. The success of Oblivion, the success of Fallout TV show, we're going to get a Fallout 3 remake for sure. Dark Cloud, 25%. I don't feel very optimistic about that. Eco, I could see, I'd go 60% on that one. I feel more optimistic that we'd see that one getting done because of the success of Shadow of the Colossus. It's just that Eco on PS2 didn't have the success that Shadow of the Colossus did on PS2. Shadow of the Colossus was huge. Everyone fucking loved that game, and a lot of people played it. Can't say the same for Eco. A lot of people loved it, but not as many people played it. So it's probably lower on their tier list because it wouldn't sell as good as Shadow of the Colossus. But again, if you package it with Shadow of the Colossus, then you'd have a seller for sure. Legend of Dragoon. Ooh, oh boy. I'll be optimistic with a 40%. I don't feel very good about it, but I'll throw a 40 on it because I really, really want it. Resident Evil 1, I'd say 90% on that one. Eventually they're going to run out of games to remake and they're going to have to do Resident Evil 1, so it's going to happen. Silent Hill 3, since they've done 2 and now we're doing 1, I'm going 85% on Silent Hill 3. I think it's inevitable we'll get that one coming along as well, and I feel pretty optimistic about 4 as well because it sold well, reviewed well. Why not do it again? It's a success. It works, so why not? So there we go, everybody. That's my list. That's my review of Silent Hill 2 Remake, and that's the episode on remakes. We did some more. Part 2 it was. So if you want to check out Part 1, go out there and check it out. All these GamerCast episodes, they age like a fine wine. You can check them out anytime you want to. They're just talking about video games, so it's not like I'm talking about up-to-date news or anything, so you can listen to them whenever, whatever. And I also want to shout out you for listening to this podcast because you're freaking awesome. Thank you so much. I hit 12,000 downloads the other day, so that's amazing. Thank you so much. I'd never expected anything out of this podcast. I did it as something that I just love to do, love talking about video games, and never expected anyone to listen to this. So if you are listening to this, thank you very much. You're awesome. And if you want to be even more awesome than you already are, you're already really awesome. But if you want to do me a favor, hit the review button on the podcast. Hit me with whatever, a fair review. Not demanding you give me 5, only if I deserve it. And drop a review, drop a comment, let me know what you're playing, let me know what kind of episodes you would like me to do, and all that great stuff. So there we go, everybody. Another episode down. Like I said, I upload all these to the YouTube channel, GamerGX Videos. You can follow the link in the description below. It'll take you to the YouTube channel. Subscribe, please and thank you. Drop a comment on the videos, also please and thank you. And yeah, what else we got going on? I don't know what episode I'm going to do next. It'll be something. I'll think of something. And yeah, we'll have another episode for sure. Might be a list, might be a game. I don't know. know. It all depends on how I'm feeling. So we'll do that. And there we go, everybody. Thank you one more time for listening. You the best. And we'll be back again with some now GX Plus games.